Hello. Welcome, everyone. How are you all doing today? Should I call this like Lunch with Latrice series, the leadership series? I still have to come up with a name for this. Thank you so much for being here. I am your coach, Latrice Huff, and I am a career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color. This is my mission and my movement to put more women of color in leadership roles and positions of power. I help you increase your salary and your revenue by improving your personal brand, by helping you create impact. So today we're going to all be talking all about how to lead with influence and impact, even if you've been overlooked. This is the important piece because sometimes we believe or we take on other people's perception of us, and we don't need to do that. Just because someone else doesn't see you as a leader doesn't mean you don't still lead. Just because someone else doesn't see your impact doesn't mean you're not creating impact. So as I go into, I've got three tips for you guys. I want you to overall remember that you don't need to take on anyone else's perception of you. Your opinion of you is what matters. So even if you've been overlooked in the past, or even if you feel like you're being overlooked now in your current role, has nothing to do with the fact that you can lead with influence and impact. Okay. All right. So, as you all are joining in, I had to say that, ladies. Give me a hey, give me a hi. Let me know where you all are joining in from. I am originally from Baltimore, if you can't hear the Baltimore accent. So, originally from Baltimore, and right now I am in Texas. So, I love to see where everyone is joining from. We've had people from all the way to like Nigeria, people from Canada join, people from the UK and California and Atlanta. North Carolina always shows out. I get a lot of people from the DMV. So I would love to see where everyone is joining from. And feel free to start putting your comments and questions in the comment section as well. Okay. So here's my first tip on how to lead with influence and impact, even if you've been overlooked. The first tip is you have to be visible. I want you to think about how you can increase your visibility. So many times we either want a leadership role or we get into these leadership roles and we look around, and because there may not be anyone else that look like us, or not a lot of people who look like us, we tend to want to be in the background. We tend to only want to be, only talk when asked a question, right? We have our ideas silenced. And here's the thing. The people around you will cater to this thought. They will allow you to shrink yourself and then complain that you're not speaking up in the meetings. So, what you need to do is increase your visibility. I want you to think about this. How can you, starting today, starting this week, how can you increase your visibility? All right. Hey, Sonia, she's joining in from Los Angeles. Yeah, California always come deep too. Hey, Nathaniel from Oregon. Let me give you all a shout out. Hey, Nathaniel. I love that picture too. Loving the profile, the profile pictures. So think about this. How can you increase your visibility? And start this week. As I'm sharing these tips with you all, don't say, okay, well, when the time is right, or once this and this happens. No, start to increase your visibility now. And does that mean for you speaking up in the meetings, sharing an initiative or an idea, sharing something that you've recently accomplished? Does that mean reaching out to people on LinkedIn, doing a post on LinkedIn, sharing an article, right? What does increasing your visibility look like for you? And we're starting this week. Okay, we're starting this week. All right. Hey, Tiffany. All right. Yeah, North Carolina always comes through. Hey, Charlotte from Charlotte. Tiffany, I have to say too, let me know what's good in Charlotte. I think in October I'm gonna be going to Charlotte. It's either gonna be a solo trip or me and my sister. So tell me some good spots in Charlotte. In the meantime, let me share this with you all. Even commenting like this, and I'm highlighting you all, is increasing your visibility. Is increasing your visibility. Anytime you comment on something, especially related to your career or your business, other people will see your profile and your headline. So I want you to think about this week, how can you increase your visibility inside the corporate office and outside? This is going to be 1A. You should not only be increasing your visibility in your company right now in 2025 with the unemployment rate sky high, specifically the unemployment rate for Black and Brown Americans. You need to be increasing your visibility within your company and outside of your company. That could be, again, expanding your network, going to networking events, seeing where you can be on a panel or speak based on your expertise, right? If there's an opportunity in your company to present something, even if it's a 10-minute presentation, raise your hand. Raise your hand. You need to increase your visibility. You want to build influence, you want to build impact, you have to be visible. You have to be visible, okay? Gone are the days when we can be working in the background. I had this woman tell me she wanted to get promoted. She wanted to get into a leadership role. And she was already in middle management. So let me say that. But she wanted to go into executive leadership. And she's like, Latrice, well, I was just hoping I could just keep my head down and do my work and they would notice me. And I was like, well, maybe 30 years ago, maybe, but now in 2025, that's not the case. I was like, the only thing they will realize is that you like doing work and they will give you more work. You want to be visible. You want to be visible. Okay. So that's number one, increasing your visibility. And you decided how you can increase your visibility this week. That's your action step. Okay. It's your action step. How can you increase your visibility this week and do it? Even if it's just one thing, even if it's like, well, I'm going to comment and I'm going to connect with everybody else who commented on this live. Maybe it's I'm going to share out this live and add my opinion piece to it, or I'm going to share a tip that Latrice didn't say. Right? Think about how you can increase and expand your visibility today, this week. Action step, we're doing it. Okay. The next thing you want to lead with influence and impact, even if you've been overlooked. You need to start creating new opportunities for yourself and others. I'm a huge proponent in creating our own opportunities, especially for right now, what's going on in the world, what's going on in America. We need to be creating our own opportunities. Gone are the days when somebody's going to see how great you are and create an opportunity for you. You need to be like, okay, this is my skill set. This is my brand. This is what I'm great at. How can I then create opportunities based on that? And again, opportunities could be your own business. An opportunity could be a speaking engagement. An opportunity could be on social media. An opportunity could be a partnership. An opportunity can be volunteering. Opportunities can come different ways. But first, think about your lifestyle, your vision, and what you want. And then create opportunities to go towards that vision. One of the things I personally did, because I took myself through this whole process, when I was in the workforce, is I was like, you know what? The next step up was like director. I didn't want to be a director at that time. And then it was like a chief. And I was like, all right, what's the next step for me? And it would have been assistant director. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to take over payroll. I was like, you know what? I think I can create my own job description. I'm very good at strategy. I was like, we had a retention problem, we had a recruiting issue. I was like, I'm really good at strategy. I literally wrote my own job description. I started doing it first, right? Wrote my own job description and came to my boss and was like, yeah, I'm ready for a promotion. I've already been doing these things. Here's the job description. Like literally created my own opportunity with a salary increase. And I negotiated my salary too. So I want you to think about what opportunities can you create? And for me, again, I based my opportunity on my vision and my goals. Didn't want to take over payroll. I had 2 kids at home. So, if anyone has ever done payroll before, you got to be available all day, every day, holidays, everything. You messing with people's money. I didn't want to do that. but I knew I was great at strategy. I knew I was good at putting in initiatives. I knew I was a people person. And I knew, for me, I have a business degree. So I'm like, I'm great at business acumen. I can put all those things together, create this job description, and show them how it benefits the company. Okay, that's just one example. I have another client. We did something similar with her promotion to director. We created her own job description and gave that to her boss. He did have some adjustments, but essentially, she got a lot of what she wanted in this new role. But you think about, how can you create your own opportunities for yourself and others? Meaning, who can you bring with you? You want to create impact. Can you mentor? Can you guide someone? Even if you are not exactly where you want to be, you can still create impact. Can somebody write that down? Can we take a minute for that? Even if you are not exactly where you want to be, you don't have to be at the finish line to help someone else. Okay. You don't have to be like, Latrice, I want to achieve this, this, and this before I can make an impact. No, you can make impact on your destination. You can make impact on the path to your destination. Once I realized this for myself, things changed. I had someone actually come to me and was like, Latrice, how are you doing these things? Can you help guide me? And I was like, I'm not even where I want to be, but I could help him. It was actually the first person I mentored was a guy. And I was like, I can help him. And that's what I did. I was like, all right, we're going to show up. We're going to go. I was like, all these events, and you see everybody talk about, I'm not doing that. I don't come to work to make friends. I was like, you come to work, you need to make connections. Gone are the days where you could just keep your head down and work. You need to be making connections. And that's what I helped him do. Right? So you can create impact. You can help others, even if you're not where you want to be, while you're on your path. Let me know if you all get this, because this is a hard concept that I know a lot of people are like, Latrice, I'm working on myself. How am I going to work on somebody else? You're creating opportunities for yourself and others. You can do this simultaneously. It takes nothing away from you to help someone else. In fact, you've now created another advocate. You've now created another ally. You've now created someone who can help you with your visibility. All right. Let me check the comments. Oh, Tiffany says, yes, I will. Thank you. Are you referring to like helping me out in Charlotte? Like, let me know where the best places in Charlotte are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me know if that's clear, you guys. But if you have any questions or comments as I'm going along these, right? I'm kind of having like tip and then like sub tip, right? All right. The next thing I have, you have to show up and show out. Again, gone are the days where we're going to be invisible and blend into the background. That's just not an option right now. It's just not an option. And again, this does not mean you have to be an extrovert. You take what I'm saying and do it in your own way. You do it in your own way, okay? So just keep that in mind. But what does showing up and showing out look like for you? For me, it looks like, okay, I'm gonna do a weekly live. For me, it looks like I even volunteer at my son's school, showing up and showing out. I believe that people need to see more of me, but not just see me with visibility. They need to see all of me, the natural curls, the skin, the hair, all of it, the personality, my voice. You need to show up and show out in the best way for you. Showing up and showing out may mean I'm just writing an article. May mean to some people, I have some clients, they start a podcast. You're showing up and showing out can look different, okay? Let me see. Tiffany says, it's crystal clear. I'm a firm believer of networking. Yep, it's being consistent. That can be a struggle for me. Here's the thing with consistent networking. You can create your own definition of consistent. Consistency can mean once a month for you. They did a study and it showed like the average LinkedIn user, I think, spends like 17 to 30 minutes a week on LinkedIn. What if you just commit to spending 25 minutes a week on LinkedIn, right? Or even like 35 minutes a week. That could be a few minutes a day. Or you could do it all on one day on a Saturday. But you get to define consistency. Okay. Consistency doesn't have to mean every day. Consistency could mean, you know what? Once a month, I'm going to network. Consistency could mean like, okay, once a month to the end of the year, I'm going to network. I'm going to go to an event, or I'm going to do something virtual, but somewhere once a month, I'm going to get myself out there. You get to define that, right? And your networking could be, I'm going to show up to one of these association meetings. Your networking can be, I'm going to go to the local commerce. Your networking can mean I'm going to show up to a webinar or a workshop or a live and engage with the host and engage with the people in the comments. Okay, so what you're doing now can be considered as networking. I'm highlighting you, like putting your beautiful picture, your name, your comment up here. Hundreds of people watch my lives. All right, so think about what consistency means to you. What you ought to take as I'm giving you all these tips. I want you to think about how they can work for you in your lifestyle and in your career and business. Okay. So if it's like, Latrice, I cannot be on LinkedIn every day. No worries. No worries. For me, like when I decided, hey, I'm going to show up, I was like, I think I'm going to do a live. Lives are easy for me. I was like, I can do a live every week. Sometimes I miss a week and I just keep going. If I miss a week, I'll show up again the next week. Right. So think about what consistency looks like for you. I like to think about consistency, uh, try once a month at the longest stretch of time. Thanks for those nuggets. You're welcome. Yeah, once a month at the longest stretch of time. But what once a month does, even if we take now, it's September. You could map out September, October, November, December. All right, that's only 4 things you have to do. You can map those out, put them on your calendar, make it an appointment, and do it, and be done. And now you only have to think about it once. So when we talk about consistency, make it your own, right? I have some people that are like, all right, I'm going to do this 4 times a year. I'm like, that's okay, unless it's something big. If you're like, hey, I'm going to go to like 3 conferences a year or 4 conferences a year, that's big, that's huge. But some smaller things, try once a month, map them out. I'll share. I'm actually reading the 12-week year. Let me know if anyone has read that book. I love it. I've already been kind of running my goals like this a little bit and 12-week spurts. And even with my clients, we have like this 90-day planner, 90-day career planner. So I've already been doing some of it, but I love the concepts in there. It was even more things that I learned that I was not doing. So we have we're a little over 12 weeks in the rest of the year. But even if you cut it off at like, December 20th, you could do 12 weeks and get so much done and so much accomplished in 12 weeks. So think about it. Could you be consistent in whatever you choose to do for visibility, for creating your own opportunities, for showing up and showing out? Could you do that? Could you commit to doing that for the next 90 days, right? For the next 3 months? And then my final thing is, I want you to change the narrative. You want to lead with influence and impact. You have to control your narrative for your influence and for your impact. You cannot let your boss, your boss's boss, your employees, your industry, you cannot let someone else or another entity control your narrative. This is where branding comes in. And y'all know I'm always talking about personal branding. You have to control your narrative. It simply means you get to tell the story about what your experience, qualifications, and goals mean. You get to tell that story. If someone looks at your resume and they're like, oh, great, she would be a great accountant, but you want to get into HR, it is up to you to draw that line and create a story and a narrative that shows how all your skills correlate to HR. Same thing. I know I got some people on here for legal. If you want to be in legal, or you want to work out of the country, or you want to work for a global company, this is up to you to create the narrative. Someone should be able to look at your resume, look at your LinkedIn, have a conversation with you, and know exactly where you want to go and where you've been and how you can help them. You create the narrative and you create the story. Do not let someone else control your narrative. This is the biggest mistake I see. Is that when women come to me and men, you all are usually letting someone else, whether it's your boss, even a family member, control your narrative. And you need to take back control. This is how you lead with influence and impact. Even if you've been overlooked, even if someone else is telling your story, you get to revise that. You now get to teach people and tell them how to speak about you. And I love doing this with storytelling. Look at your experience, look at your goals and your vision. You create the story and the narrative, not someone else. They will pigeonhole you, they will put you in a box you don't belong in or you don't want to be in. This is what happens when we wake up and we've been in the same career for 20 years that we hate. But we feel like, oh, I'm making so much money, or this is the only thing I've been doing, so I can't do anything else. That's just a story and a narrative. You get to change it. Oh, Sonia says, yes, I love that book. Which the 12-week year, I had ChatGPT create my daily planner for my goals referencing that book. It is an amazing, amazing book. I have a planner similar to that, and I am going to be like slightly adjusting the planner even more. But yes, if you all have not, I highly recommend the 12-week year, especially now. It's a great time because we have more than 12 weeks left in the year. But it's a great time to read the book and start implementing some of those things. And you would be amazed at what you can accomplish and what you will complete. Like I am someone who overall, like how I define myself is like I'm someone who overall can achieve their goals, right? However, I have some big goals and I have a lot of them. So that was one of the reasons I was like, well, let me see what this 12-week year is saying. And I love what it's saying about breaking the goals into smaller pieces. If you all notice, I typically give y'all like 3 to 5 tips, right? Choose 3 that you're going to work on. Choose 3 that you can implement this week, or you can at least think about. All right. That controlling the narrative and changing your narrative, that's going to be an ongoing thing. That's going to be an ongoing living thing that you do. But it's also going to be the key and the most important thing, especially as you go along. If you're increasing your visibility, but somebody else is controlling your narrative, it's not going to work. You need to control the narrative. Okay. All right. Let me know if you all have any questions, any comments about what we just went over. I am so excited to see all the impact you all are going to be making. I'm going to have some workshops and webinars coming up this month on the 18th. I'm going to get you all the link for that. If you're interested in being on my email list and getting access to my workshop for free on how to pivot as a woman of color in 2025, put pivot in the comments and we'll send you all that link. And then on the 18th, we're going to have another free workshop coming up just for you all. Okay. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and keep the comments going. If any of my hashtag replay people are watching the replay, continue with the comments. We check the comments every day, and I love hearing from you guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye.